It's Fiverr Friday! What's up? My name is Anthony Pica. This show is all about helping the new and upcoming voiceover artists grow their business and sidestep all of the crazy things that I seem to step on. It is May 29th. It is Friday. We are so close to being done with this month and moving into June and the summer, and then we are moving into the holiday season. Now, you may have asked, Anthony, why in the world would you title this Fiverr Friday, Are You Ready for the Holidays? Well, because we are getting close to the holidays, and as voiceover artists, we need to be ahead of the curve and ready with our services. It's time to dust off those old Halloween gigs, your scary voiceover gigs. I've been getting some escape room voiceover jobs recently. Things are starting to pick back up when it comes to getting into the holiday season. And I want to talk just briefly with you today about that and how we need to be thinking ahead of what's to come and how you can capitalize on that. I really love Fiverr for this type of work as well because, Fiverr's a place, was originally set up as a place for people to go to find things, services that they couldn't really find anywhere else or without paying, gobs of money. But more importantly, Fiverr is now also a place where we can sell our services to individuals or small businesses or groups and really expand what is available. And some of the things that I started with on Fiverr actually that kicked off my business years ago was the scary voiceovers, the scary gigs, if you will, the evil characters. That's what started off my journey on actually on Fiverr. So that is something that I really am looking forward to coming. And actually, real quick, I want to make sure, I'm just double checking. I want to make sure if you are here seeing me live, there was an issue with, so it looks like I am live on YouTube. If you are seeing me, go ahead and send a shout out just to be careful because there was something going on with YouTube before I logged on today. So I wanted to make sure that everything was fine. Oh, good. Hey, Zach, it's good to have you. So anyways, so getting back to everything, as we go into the summer season and we go into the holiday season, right? We go into Halloween, we go into Thanksgiving and Christmas, and we're also, coming up to the 4th of July. And of course, this is a huge election year, right? So for us, it's very important that we are on top of these cyclical trends and we are putting out gigs and services, and of course we're talking about Fiverr, on Fiverr that can target these types of things. Now, on Fiverr, you, depending on what level you are, right, you have a certain amount of... Oh, thank you. Yeah, sometimes it takes YouTube a little while to send out the notifications now, I'm realizing. Or maybe they're not sending them out as much. But the... sorry, this the CB. Anyways, you got me all mixed up now. What I was talking about, oh, good gracious, I hate when that happens. It's your fault, CB. I was talking about with Fiverr and, oh, yes, the amount of gigs that you have. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because if you pause gigs, they are still considered active under the amount of gigs that you have. So that means if you have 10 gigs, right, you're level 1, and you have 10 gigs that you can offer, and if you pause like 2 of them and you want to create 2 new ones, like let's say you want to create 2 new 4th of July ones, right? Then, you're going to have to get rid of 2. You can't pause them and then create more. Does that make sense? So unfortunately, that's something that you have to deal with. But I think that it's so important right now as we're going right into June, because if you think about it, June, July, we've got July, and there's all kinds of, voiceovers and things that we do for July, and escape rooms. Like I told you, I've been getting escape room jobs recently. It's probably because we're opening back up, but also we're getting close to July, August, September, October. School is definitely something that, I don't know. It's still up in the air whether that's going to happen or not, how it's going to happen. How some places are going to open back up because of the CDs. Anyways, whatever. I have no idea what's going to happen with that. But because of where we are, businesses take, a month, 2 months, sometimes 3 months to get themselves ready. And I imagine, because of the crazy year we've had so far, the latter half of the season for us is going to be really geared around, I imagine a lot of businesses are going to be really thinking, hey, if I can pull out these holiday seasons, it's going to be, we'll be able to salvage something of the year. So, they're going to be pushing hard, which we need to be right there, ready to offer them our services. So on Fiverr, right, you need to offer, your evil character gigs, your escape room gigs, your, Christmas gigs, your 4th of July gigs, your even going back to school, back to school gigs. And you can name your gigs that. Okay. And so this, again, is keeping you ahead of the curve, keeping you ahead of on the trends, and not, waiting for it to take off and then getting into it. As I was saying earlier, I remember I started off on Fiverr, in 2017, and, not much happened for me for a while. And then I had started a gig, an evil character gig for Halloween. Not a lot of people were doing that at the time. And, it took off, and I got a lot of business, and it catapulted me to level 2 really quickly. And that was before Fiverr switched over to the rules they have now, where you have to go one level at a time. It used to be you could jump levels if you met all the criteria. But anyways, that's what got me to that point. And, it shows that diving into what's happening and putting out offerings, on Fiverr is very effective. Okay, I just wanted to talk about that. I wanted to get your mind wrapped around that, getting ready for the holiday season. We're already halfway through the year. If you could believe it. It's been a crazy year, right? Anyways, if you've got questions and comments, now is the time to start asking them. If you are new or haven't been to a Fiverr Friday really much before, this is also a question and answer session. So if you have some questions, comments, thoughts about that, please go ahead and ask them, post them now about things that are going on. I'll take a look at the board and see who's here and what's happening. We got Zach, my man. We got Oscar. Hello, Sherry. It's good to have you. Facebook user. Hey, everybody. Sorry, I don't know why the Facebook is a Facebook user. Hopefully, I don't know your names. You have to put your name in there. Let's see. Tom, it's good to have you. Jeremy, hello, sir. Martin, it's good to have you. Jeremy, awesome studio, man, that you posted. I'm really excited to talk to you about it. Let's see. I got no YouTube notification. We were talking about that. CB, the Obi-Wan. I love that. Oscar, I really hope Fiverr fixes the bug with gig impressions soon. Absolutely. So, I have not heard anything else on that front, and it is really quite disturbing, and I really wish they would bring that back, because that is something that I think we all, I know for me, I love that about Fiverr. That's been something that that separates Fiverr, that transparency. Because most all the other places, they could say anything they want about Fiverr, but they can't say anything about that transparency, right? Because that was very vital to, I think, us being able to really dive in and create a process, if you will, on how to get work on Fiverr, and to do something, analyze what's happening with impressions, with, views and clicks, and then being able to do that. Then you take that away, and all of a sudden it kind of feels like you're shooting in the dark again, right? You don't know what's there. So that's a challenge, and I hope they bring it back as soon as possible. Apparently, I think it coincided coincidentally, with them, doing this pay-per-click, I haven't heard anything else about it. By the way, if you have gotten contacted by them, please post it in there, in the comments here, and you can tell us a little bit about it. But I've not gotten contacted by them to do any pay-per-click. As soon as I do, of course, I would let you guys know immediately. But I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know how long their test phase is, and I'm not quite sure what they're doing and how they will bring back the stats. Quite honestly, I don't know why that's taking so long. I don't know what they're doing, and they're not releasing any information on it, so it is what it is. But hopefully it will be soon, and, we should keep pressing them on that. Let's see. We've got... It's Angela. CB, Anthony, is it better to max out all the gigs, even though the gigs are underperforming, are unperforming, or is it better to only have gigs that are performing based on the algorithm for the conversions? So great question, CB, because we've talked about conversion rate and how important conversion rate is to getting work, and you want that to hover between 3 to 8%. And usually when it drops below 3%, we've seen that kind of can drop you down in the rankings. However, I want you to kind of take in context, though, what these stats mean depending on where you are, right, with your clientele on Fiverr, and how much business you have and repeat business and how much volume you have going through your site. So if you don't have a lot of volume yet going through Fiverr, you're trying to, get your Fiverr account going, you're trying to get more business, getting work by getting yourself spread out with as many gigs as you can put out is more important than worrying about at that moment what exactly your conversion rate is. Okay, but if you are at a point where you are so busy, you are swamped, you can't do any more work, then you can think about that, about how does this affect my conversion rate. But I find that in this particular case, putting out as many gigs as possible to be seen, to market your gig effectively on Fiverr is way better than not having all the gigs up if you don't have all the work you have. So like for me, I have about 7 or 8 gigs up. I could have 30, right? As a top rated seller, I get 30. I don't have any more up because I don't want any more business. I'm busy. I'm too busy for what I have. I don't want any more. I know that sounds crazy, but you'll get to a point as you do this that it's just so much business that it's enough, right? Depending on what your plans are, what you want to do, and how much money you're making, etc. So, but if I wanted more business and I put more gigs out there, I would get it, but then I wouldn't be able to fulfill it the way I want to do that. Okay, but most people aren't in my situation. Okay, so before I was in that situation, I had up way more, triple the amount of gigs I have up now, okay, and because it was bringing me lots of business from lots of areas, okay, but I'm at a different place, and that's why I always say, be careful when you look at top-rated sellers and try to mimic their stuff, their prices and everything, because they have a certain amount that they're already went up the ladder, if you will, and got the proof, got the clients. Because, for example, I know from being on the platform for years and working with clients that I have for years that every month I'm going to make a certain amount of money on Fiverr because they're going to keep coming back to me because they've proven it over and over again. Can 1 or 2 leave? Sure. But in general, right, you have built up clientele after time. And I have, and a lot of other people on Fiverr have been there for a while, have too. So, you're talking about almost like a safety net. But when you're just starting out, you don't have that. So your job is to put out as much as you can, in my opinion, as many gigs as you can to get extra, to be seen and to get extra work. And then as you get swamped with work, then you can start looking more at, well, the conversion rates on this one is not too good, et cetera, et cetera. I can tell you this, if you decide to take down or delete a gig or even put it on pause, okay, it will have a negative effect on your account for a period of time. Okay, because I've done it multiple times. I've tried these things out and it's tanked my account. Perfect example was January through March of this year. I got rid of 2 gigs that one was I made a decision to no longer offer that gig, and another one I had to take it off and move it to my website, which was the gig review, because it was drawing a lot of my business. Well, it was drawing a lot of impressions. So this is the part about the conversion rate. It was drawing so many impressions, like 20 or 30,000 impressions. Okay, but the people that were most of the people that were looking at that wanted me to do like reviews of their products, not gig reviews. So I inadvertently was attracting the wrong people. So I wasn't doing that business. And because of that, even though I was doing a lot of gig reviews, I did a bunch. It was, not doing well for my conversion rate. So I had to get rid of that. And I tell you, I got rid of that and the other gig, and it tanked my business. I lost about 50% of my revenue for 3 months. And then finally it started to build back up again because of me getting ranked again. And if it wasn't for my customers, you know what I mean, my clientele that, had just kept coming to me, I wouldn't have made a lot of money at all on Fiverr. So, now that, of course, I'm back up to being ranked higher and I make enough money now. So it's just something to think about. I want you to be aware of it. That doesn't mean you shouldn't do it, but I want you to be aware of it. Okay, so let's see. CB, I removed 3 gigs where no sale ever occurred. Okay. Chris says, what's up, brother? What's up, man? Big Jim. Let's see. Ed says, hey, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, Ed. Let's see. Facebook user. Hey, fella. Hey, fella. I don't know who that is. Whoever the hey, fella is. Because I can't see because it says Facebook user. So I'm going to say, hey, fella. Yay. Yeah, that's the issue I'm at. I get nothing but spam messages trying to get me off the site. Been nearly a week and nothing yet. I deleted a gig because I thought I made a mistake too. I understand. So I would say instead of deleting gigs, the best thing is to modify them. So remember, I mean, once you title a gig and it goes live, it will always be that title in the address box above, right? But you can change the title, and I've changed my title so many times, and it doesn't seem to really affect the overall algorithm on Fiverr. Okay, would it affect your algorithm if you're trying to be found on Google? And yeah, probably. But for Fiverr, it doesn't affect your algorithm, whatever the actual original title of it was, because that never goes away in the address box. But you could change your title as much as possible. It's fun, actually. I think it's fun because I'm an idiot, right? But it's fun to go around and look at some of the people's titles, and you can look at mine too about what they were when they originally started it, and you kind of giggle about what some of the people named their titles until we've all figured out the better way to name our stuff. So it's just something to look at if you're bored. I don't know. Anyways, you can change that title. You can change the description. You can change a lot in there without deleting the gig, so you don't lose that influx of traffic, which then also affects your ranking for the rest of your gigs in the algorithm. So just something to consider. Let's see. It's a Facebook user. Hi. Great to be here. Late to the party. Glad to be here. Ozzy is the hey. Oh, hey, Ozzy. I know you. Been a long time. Ozzy's a hey fella guy. Don't know why that's happening. I don't know either. Facebook changes their stuff so often that you can't tell. All right, Scott says, Anthony, I left my account on hold for 5 years. Then started back last month. So I have been a Fiverr user for 5 years with no money made. Any good fix for this? You know what, Scott? I'm glad you brought that up. I actually started my account. If you look at my account, it says I've been a member since like 2011 or 2012, right? But I started my Fiverr account way back then when I heard about this platform called Fiverr, and I for like purchasing things. I never had done anything to actually sell anything on Fiverr, and it went dormant for 5 years myself, right, from 2012 to 2017. And then 2017 in April is when I put up my first gig, because I can go back in my contact list and see that first actual job I did, which was in April of 2017. So I'm actually right there in the same boat with you. Okay, it's okay. I decided not to close the account and just use it because at the time I didn't know. Again, like I've said, I would have named my account my actual name. I would have named it Anthony Pica VO or something like that instead of it's named ATPCRE, which was an old email account. And that's what my name is on the platform. I never changed it, but now changing it would be detrimental. So I'm not going to change it. But I don't think it's going to play a part. I don't think it has an issue. You just got to build up your account again and keep it going and, go from there. If you haven't done anything on it yet, you're not gotten any business or anything, you could switch it out. But I don't see why it would affect you either way, honestly, because it's been paused. So, good question. We have that in common. Let's see. Talk Tide today. Howdy, what's up? Facebook user, should I direct them to the gig for their project, or should I just create an offer right then and there in the message box? Great question. Listen, I really firmly believe that I remember hearing this a long time ago. I was watching some sales thing, and you know what it was? It was I love watching those shows on TV where like they're the rebuild a business or a restaurant or something like that. And I think it was like what was it, Lamonis? You remember that? What is it? That business, the where he invests in small businesses, right? And he helps them grow or something like that. Anyways, there was a one time where they were like, you've got to always ask for the sale no matter what. Ask right then and there. If you are confident about what you are doing, ask. Don't wait. Because there are 1,000,001 things that can happen between that time. So whenever somebody approaches me, I will literally always just send them I will say, hey, thank you so much. I'd love to help. Here's a custom offer, and send it to them right then and there. If they have contacted me, I don't want to send them away. Now, when I interviewed Red on the podcast, Red Horrocks, she said that there were times where she was so busy that she had to tell them to go to her site, go to and order from there. But, we're not, Red Horrocks is, she's doing over 600 jobs a month on Fiverr. So, I'm not that busy yet. I'm only 1/6 of that. I only do over 100 or so a month on Fiverr. So that's crazy to me. So at this point, I just send an offer right then and there. I try not, because I don't want them to go and be like, and they find someone else or something. You know what I mean? So that's what I recommend. Send them an offer. When you got them right there, send them the offer. Okay, let's see. Whoops, sorry. Facebook user. Okay, yep. Happy Friday. Any update on the stats on Fiverr? Hilton. Hey, Hilton. Yeah, I was just talking about that earlier. Unfortunately, no. I've not seen any information on that. I'll go ahead and send Chris an email, see if he has any more information. Last time I sent him an email, though, he said that they're working on the the beta for the pay-per-click, and I should be getting accepted into that soon, but it's been like weeks and I haven't been accepted and I haven't seen anything on it myself. So, we'll see what that happens. So I'll try to reach out, Hilton. Let's see. I did the Shibby, and sorry if I say that wrong. I did that, look at other VOs, titles, and pricing. I was focusing on how search engines link to Fiverr. I noticed that do voiceover was a tag that was auto-filled if go through Google links. That's interesting. Tags are super important. I usually try to, like if we talked about in the past, you match up your title, description, and tags. You need to have those 3 match up for algorithm on Fiverr. I don't really try to rank for anything on Google through Fiverr. I just try to get, because Fiverr's bringing the business from Google. But yeah, thank you for sharing that. Joseph, hi everybody. I'm late. Thankful you archive these live streams. Yes. Scott, awesome. I can breathe easier. Cool deal. Sherry, The Prophet. Yes, The Prophet. Yes, I really did enjoy The Prophet. Love that show. Angela says, that's right. It shows your name on Facebook, Angela. Angela says, I can hear your AC fan, yet you have a jacket on. Live in the yeah, don't even, Angela, don't even play. You know, I I like to be cold, okay? I like to be cold. Let's see. Near says, hi, everybody. Nice to be here. Good to have you. Famicom, what's up? You should do a video on making your own PVC booth. Yes, and I want you to know I am going to be doing some videos. I have to build out. So I used to work, as you all know, I was a teacher before I left teaching to do this full-time a year ago. And wow, you know what? It's almost going to be my 1-year anniversary of leaving my full-time job to do voiceover full-time, because my 1-year anniversary will be in the middle of June, so about 2 weeks, right? So yeah, it's pretty cool. But anyways, I was saying that I worked the place I worked, right? I was a teacher, and I also I was a technical theater teacher for the last couple years of my teaching career, and I had a shop and everything there, so everything I built was there. So I'm now building out my shop and everything, but it's want to walk you through, because I still have actually my PVC pipe. I'm struggling whether or not I should show you how to like cut the PVC pipe and everything, or just construct it so you could see what it would look like. But I think I have everything here, because I didn't throw away my PVC pipe, my hobo fort. So I'll definitely put something like that together, because a lot of people I think could benefit from it. Let's see. I took down some of my closet to make a booth. I hear you. You are a great inspiration. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Clint, late. Hilton says, great, thanks. Appreciate you being the voice for us. Oh, absolutely. Thank you, ma'am. Angela, because I'm special. Yes, you are special. Tony says, Anthony, I am a new seller on Fiverr. Over this last weekend, I was spammed. I ate that. But I did not read it until 2 days later. My response rate is lower to 75%. As a new seller, is this the kiss of death? Tony, great question. Unfortunately, it's hard to recover from, especially when you're new. Because it is averaged, so you have to get more responses in order to average it out. My recommendation to you would be to, work the next couple of weeks to get into buyer request section every single day. Make sure that when you get messaged, you're responding right away, and that should average itself out. But if you find after a couple weeks that you can't get underneath, away from that, and you're just getting nothing and you're really struggling hard with it, you might have to, there is a handful of times where I have recommended that people, close down their account and start again, especially if they're new. Because there are some things that's very difficult to get back from. Now, fortunately for response rate, though, that's an average, and it's a running average. So, that will go away over time as long as you are being active yourself and reaching out to people like through buyer requests and messaging and stuff, so that when they respond to you, or you respond to them quickly, it will average itself out. But things like reviews are really, like, if you get a bad review, like someone's just not happy with you and you get like a 1 and you're just starting out, that's like the kiss of death. So I would say keep a close eye on it, do your very best, try to up your efforts on the buyer request section so you can average that out. But if you find after a couple of weeks it's just not working, you might want to think about that as an option. All right, let's see. Scott, ditto on the PVC booth. All right, well, looks like I got a project this weekend. Scott, that would be very cool. Awesome. Let's see. Shibby, yeah, I had that same issue at Tony. Okay, my response time was 12 hours because of it. Now it's 1 hour due to the amount of spam I'm getting. Hey, well, look at that. You can now have a good reason to be spammed, because what happens every time someone does message you and you respond within an hour or under, it averages that out. So looking on the bright side of things, I like that. B-Dog at 45. If you show how it was constructed, that would help a lot. I think I tried to make mine too big and it keeps collapsing. Absolutely. Okay, so I'll definitely put a whole tutorial video together on that for you guys. Should be a lot of fun. And I always worried about the recording of it, you know, because I'm not set up like for recording in my garage, so I have to figure all that out. You wouldn't think it's really that big of a deal, right? But it actually, to me, it makes a huge deal when you're constructing something. I might actually do something to where I construct it and narrate over it, maybe. I don't know what I need to do, because I don't have like a lavalier, so sound is really bad when you're trying to. I don't know. I've got to figure all that out so it actually turns out well. But hopefully, you know, we can figure that out. It's a big deal to me to make sure that you guys can understand what I'm saying. It might be better if I narrate over it. You know what I mean? Maybe that would work. I don't know. Any of your thoughts is worth. I mean, please let me know. All right. Let's see. Only 4 likes so far. You got this. Only 4 likes so far. Okay. I don't know what you mean by only 4 likes so far. You mean on the video? Oh, well, I appreciate the people who like the video. Thank you. If you want to like the video, that would be great. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. It means the world to me. If you have a chance to share this, like it on Facebook, Twitter, retweet it. I really appreciate it. You know, it means the world to me. But it's more important, you know, that you guys are doing well instead of worrying about the likes. But it does make the video go a little further. So thank you. Thank you, Clint. Joseph, what is the size of the PVC booth? So when I built mine 4x6. I built a big one that actually, I had a big desk at the time, and I didn't know what I was doing, right? So I had the computer and everything was on my desk, right, in the office I had at my previous home, that I built the PVC pipe around the whole thing. All right, so that was, yeah, that's true, Near. I mean, I do have a, you know, Sennheiser 416, so that is technically a boom mic. You're absolutely right. And I do have a boom arm in, you know, that holds up my microphone. So that is true. I guess I could set up something like that. We'll see. We'll see how I work on that. We'll figure it. I'll figure something out. But thank you for that. That's true. Let's see. Do you have it set up for standing room or sitting down? So for mine, I originally built it for sitting down, but I also made it tall enough that I could stand up and record as well. So mine has a lot of different, mine was big for that very reason, which is why I wanted to get the 4x6 whisper room, because I wanted to have the option to stand up or sit down. Now I just completely stand up unless I do audiobooks, which I do audiobooks out here. If you want to know the truth, all my audiobooks, I don't do it in my whisper room. I do it right here. And it's fine enough for audiobooks. People love it. It's not a big issue. I mean, it doesn't sound as good as in the booth, but it still sounds perfectly fine. This is a good mic. It all works out okay. I don't have the fan running, of course, when I'm doing that. Let's see. Looks like you have a weekend project. Yes. Appreciate your work, Anthony. I'm a firm believer in showing appreciation. Thank you so much. I really do. Thank you, Clint. Absolutely. And thank you all so much for watching and being a part of a VO's journey. It means the world to me. If you have any other questions, comments, please post them now. But other than that, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. If you don't know, we have an amazing group. I just was thinking about it while you might be posting anything else, that we have an amazing group called Fiverr Elite, and we meet every Saturday. And the whole point of this group is we meet to work on growing each other's businesses. We have multiple top-rated sellers in there. We use the stat. We usually use lots of stats, but of course stats are on hold, but the analytics are still there, and we've been working on the analytics page and how to grow your business through actual hard data, as well as we do reviews, and I do live reviews and things like that. And so it's really wonderful. So if you're interested in that, I would love for you to join Fiverr Elite. Hey, Dan, Fiverr Elite is a group. We have over 60 members in it, and we meet Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. We have a private group, and we meet 4 times a month every Saturday, and the whole goal of that group is to get together over a Zoom meeting, and we literally work on helping each other grow our businesses. I usually have a lesson or something. I go through my accounts and stats. I do live reviews. We have questions, and we go through how to put different gigs together, where to get work, using the stats like I was just talking about, analytics. I'm a big data-driven type of person, different alternative marketing techniques for it. So it's really awesome. Thanks, Dan. I'll post a link below, YouTube description area for you to sign up. Love to have you. And I'll send a link out. You get a link in the morning about 10-15 minutes before to join. And I'd love to have you, Dan. Yeah, I'll put a link below. All right, you guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. Have a wonderful weekend. Remember, get started on putting together your gigs for the holidays. They're coming up. Think about them. Think about starting to create them, what you're going to offer. Okay, because you want to have your stuff ready to go when people start looking for it. Okay, so this is what we have to do on a cyclical nature. All right, you guys, have a wonderful weekend. I'll talk to you later. Goodbye. Goodbye.